Hi everyone and welcome to ChoiTV. I'm Choi and welcome to the very first edition of Choi's talk show or something. We'll figure out the name later on. So first let me just make a small introduction so you get an idea of what I plan to do with this thing. So I have my ear to the ground on many things that has to do with video games and technology and stuff like that, and I find those things very interesting. And I think that a lot of people, there's so much information available everywhere that I think that it's good to have an aggregator of sorts. So I want to show you guys what I think it's interesting. It's for instance, today's topic is not directly connected to video games, but it can be, and it will be very interesting for our future lives and stuff like that. So yeah, so the theme of today's show, I want to have a major theme so we can like have people call in and talk about it and stuff like that, so be more like a podcast. And I do want to have some like showcase or highlight of certain games. So today's topic, I didn't kind of pick it, it kind of picked me, because I kept stumbling upon videos and videos of things that I think are very interesting, and that's the procedural generation and real-time algorithms for manipulating video in images. I called it like that because it has a lot of fancy words and half of them I don't know what they mean. But the videos that I came across are really something. And stuff I came across is really freaky, because not only is it working, it's already like 5 or 6 years old, and that's the scary part. So the first video we're gonna see is called I have no idea what that means, but what I saw is pretty freaky. So it's done by a couple of people in NVIDIA Corporation and University of California, Berkeley. So I'm gonna kind of narrate because I don't want to get copyright striked and everything, so there won't be any audio, and it's only in a small window like this. But basically, they've made an algorithm that learned from thousands and millions of images or whatever. And you can basically give it a semantic map like this, so an outline of what's supposed to be there, and the algorithm just fills it in. So none of this is real. And you can actually real-time change things like colors of the car, or you can add an extra car in there and stuff like that. You can change the texture of the road, for instance, and all of that is really creepy when you think about it. So this is from November 30th, 2017, and this is public. So imagine what is not public. So you can see they just drag another car inside. It puts in the shade, the shadow. It puts in the reflections. And look, they can just draw in stuff. So you can just say, oh, add foliage. That's creepy, man. It can generate faces as well. So you can just say it, okay, that's the left eye, left brow, right brow, nose, and like hair and stuff. And then you can play around with the settings. But basically everything is generated here. Nothing is... So here are some previous other algorithms from I guess other companies or something, and look how much more advanced this thing is. And now, why would that even be interesting? Why would that even matter? Because imagine how muddied everything is today, just with like fake news and stuff like that. And I'm pretty positive from everything I saw on this topic that in 5 years we won't be able to trust ourselves anymore with what we see or what we hear. And that's something like that has a lot larger connotations when you think about like, okay, I'm gonna get into it later because I have more videos to prove my point. Like, you know how when Vive came out, or the Oculus Rift, when we started with all this VR stuff, there was that huge kind of a green screen box that you can get inside, and then you have special cameras that I could like track all that in real time, so you could actually position a person inside the VR and watch what they are doing. So I've also came across, or this video actually shows that being similar technology, I guess, being used on a I guess a movie shoot or something similar, where they actually position a guy in a whole 3D environment in an apartment, and you almost can't tell the difference. You can kind of see because he doesn't interact with many of the objects, but the tracking and everything is amazing. That was just a small video presentation from, I think, Octane Render is the name of the company, or the name of the technology. I don't know, but yeah, that's something I came across just a couple of days ago. It's from January 11th, 2018. Yeah. So another thing that hit really close to home, because I'm a technical drawer, I do a lot of CAD stuff, in 3D especially, is this thing here that's called and it extracts, what did it say? Extracting editable objects from a single photo. You can think of it in terms of video games, that it can really quickly generate extra assets and stuff like that. So you have an object and done. So just 3 sweeps. You just say the length, the width and the height of an object, and it instantly puts it in 3D and it instantly textures it. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable stuff. And you know what's the most unbelievable about this video? This video is from August 13th, 2013. Yeah, this just blows my mind. So even more complex objects like this, it manages to determine the diameter or the cross section of an object, and it just continues. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Oh, indeed. And look at this. Now it actually it fixes the background, so you can edit that 3D object on the fly and even scale it and move it, and it's crazy. So yeah, I have no words for this. This seems really badass. And there's been like a website that you can upload an image to, and it kind of puts a relief on your face, so you can see it in 3D, and it does a pretty good job, I must say. So yeah, look at this. This is crazy. I have no idea how can it actually do that from a 2D image. Look at this. This is... And the crazy thing is you can copy, paste, move, rotate. You can do everything you would be able to do with a... Yeah, it even mirrors the thing. Yeah, I'm speechless. I have no idea. Oh yeah, and look at this. It even knows how to scale things, considering the depth of the photo. So now they're gonna copy this whole lamp, and then Yeah, and if you position it further in the photo, it knows to scale it down. So it has... Yeah, I think this is pretty much self-evident. You don't need to... Yeah, I wanted to see if there's even something crazier in this photo, in this thing. Yeah, we might as well watch the whole thing because it's amazing. You should really check it out on the link because the woman explains everything along the way and how it works and stuff like that. But okay, this is 4 times the speed because it probably has to interpolate stuff between everything, and it has to have some time to think. I think, but it's remarkable that it works so well. Of course, this is a presentation. And hey Gary, there will come a point when we will trust nothing but in a picture on yours, be it a picture on your reporter. Only if we see it with our own eyes we will trust it, and then the day comes will be a deeply sad one. Yeah, and considering the technologies involved, pretty soon you won't be able to trust even what you see. That's the craziest part. And look at this, they can actually move the stuff around. That's crazy. I don't know why it's 8 times the speed, because they probably have to move it or something, I don't know. Aha, here they actually do it, yeah, they do it from a couple of pictures, so it contains the texture details of the previous close-up picture, and then yeah, this is I think all these technologies are gonna put a lot of people out of work, maybe. I mean, it's pretty rudimentary right now, but imagine that was like 5 years ago. That was 5 years ago, and imagine what it's gonna look like in like 10. So okay, that's enough. We almost showed the full video. That's probably not too good. And then you've probably seen also this thing. This is more to do with like privacy concerns and all as well, like media, fake news and stuff like that. So it's called face-to-face. It's a real-time face capture and reenactment of RGB videos. So it's, I want to credit people like I should. So University of Erlangen-Nuremberg. It's all thing about just because we can do something doesn't mean we should. Yeah, totally. But the problem is, you know, as soon as you start questioning those moral questions, and there's a capability of doing it, you know that there's gonna be somebody in the world that the morality is not gonna stop them. So it doesn't actually play a role. You have to, everybody has to, I think everybody has to explore all those options so you can know how to combat them better, because people are gonna be, you know, every technology is gonna be firstly used for porn, that's the bottom line, and then secondly for nefarious reasons. So, and then we have to figure out how to reverse engineer everything and not do that. So, oh yeah, so it's University of Erlangen-Nuremberg, Max Planck Institute for Informatics, Stanford University. Okay, so what is face-to-face? This is face-to-face. So the guy makes says one thing, and you can see Bush there reenacting it almost perfectly on a pre-recorded video. Now, if that doesn't scream what the hell is going on, then yeah. Using a commodity webcam. So at the bottom left you can see the actual image, the actual video. Above you can see the guy acting it out. This is also very, very crazy. But as soon as we start questioning what we think is real, we're heading down a slippery slope anyways. You're totally right. And I'm building up to something here. This actually is pretty scary, but you might think, ha, none of this works if there isn't actually a voice, like a synthesized voice that can mimic other people. Funny you should say that. Because there's also a thing called it's called after a bird that mimics other birds, and it's actually a digital voice recorder, a synthesizer of voice. So I'm gonna show you what they've managed to make. I'm gonna stop the music so you can just hear it all that clearer, and I'm gonna put the volume up. So this is a synthesizer of voice, and they ran a whole lot of Donald Trump's voice, all his speeches and stuff like that. And now the synthesized voice is basically reading out his tweets.
The United States is considering, in addition to other options, stopping all trade with any country doing business with North Korea.
So you have the cadence, you kind of have the color of the voice, but you still at the end of every sentence you get that synthesized kind of robotic feel. But that's not gonna be long until that's the case.
I will be meeting General Kelly, General Mattis, and other military leaders at the White House to discuss North Korea. Thank you.
They also did a bunch of that with Obama. And it's a little worse, which is kind of strange because I think there's a lot more audio of Obama there than there is Trump.
Michelle and I are thinking of the victims and their families in Barcelona. Americans will always stand with our Spanish friends. Un abrazo.
So, there's also an option for you to record a couple of sentences, and it synthesizes your voice. So I did that, and the bare minimum is 30 sentences, but you can record up to 200. And I just want to show you how I sound. We're gonna copy Gary's comment here, and we're gonna have my digital voice read it out.
But as soon as we start questioning what we think is real, we are heading down a slippery slope anyways.
Okay, there at the end it kind of lost it. But it's only after 30 sentences.
Hi everyone, today we'll be trying something a bit different, so join me in an hour for the first edition of a talk show about video games, video game culture and technology.
So imagine if I took the time and read like 200 sentences. This thing would be 5 times better, because I only read 30 of them. It would be more than 5 times better. This is
fucking trippy.
This is fucking trippy. And the point I was building towards, and how this whole thing is gonna really affect our private life in like 5 years or so, is this article from Motherboard just a couple of days ago. AI assisted fake porn is here and we're all fucked. Which is... Yep. So, all the face swapping, all apps and all like... what's that? Snapchat and stuff like that. All that technology exists in, of course, different types of algorithms. And there's a guy on Reddit, I think it's on Reddit, that just uses people's... people give him certain wishes and he fulfills them. And one of those was like, someone used an algorithm to paste the face of Wonder Woman star Gal Gadot onto a porn video, and the implications are terrifying. I'm gonna link to that in the description. And you can see on this GIF that the end result is pretty good. I don't know how the original actress actually looks like, but yeah. So can you imagine what that means for our privacy down the line, like 5-10 years? Even now, like, we are maybe the last, I'm 30 years old, so we are like the last generation that maybe gives a damn about our privacy, and is kind of worried, oh, we might slip out nudes or I don't know what. But I kind of have the feeling that younger generations are living surrounded with internet so much that they don't care about it anymore. I kind of don't care about it anymore. And in five years, when you can like take a video or a picture of anyone and paste it on anybody else's video or face or something and have porns of everybody, why would it even matter if it's real or not? You know? And that's really, really scary. Also, yeah, almost what would it mean for internet and internet media if you cannot trust any more pictures or videos of it? That was basically what I wanted to show today. So I didn't... And the biggest thing about all this is that I didn't dive deep. Ah, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I forgot to turn it down. Did you hear all that I said, okay, or... Yeah, I forgot to turn it down, sorry. So yeah, this is all very scary. What's it gonna mean for our privacy and stuff like that, and trusting of news sources, and I'm already kind of over with television and getting news on the internet, or you have to like survey the whole landscape and then come to the conclusion yourself, because everybody's just peddling something that they have an interest in. So yeah, that's kind of really the crux of all this. And the biggest part of it, I didn't have to go dig deep. I didn't dig deep at all. This is all just came out on my Twitter feed or Facebook and stuff that was like not in the news, but that was like recommended to me and stuff like that. So I have no idea what I would even find if I dug any deeper. And imagine if this is all the technology that's out right now and available to the public, or at least the knowledge of it. Imagine what's actually going on and what's it actually been used for. Yeah, I have no idea, but I think our children are gonna have a really big problem with news in general. We have a big problem with news right now, that it's all just, especially what's going on in the States, it's unbelievable to trust and think anything of it. The other part being multiple sources, if you're talking about the news. Yeah, sure. But I have no dog in this fight. You understand? I live in Germany. I don't care what happens to what happens in the States. Okay, a little bit, of course I do, because I'm not stupid. I know that's gonna spill over all over the world, especially like all this North Korea stuff and everything. But I just see that the sides are getting more extreme, and they're all just peddling their own bullshit, and you have to like look at the whole spectrum, and the truth is always probably somewhere in the middle. But it's already hard. Now imagine, and we kind of find it important to find the truth, but we are maybe the last generation that has that. All the younger people, I have the feeling that all younger people that have grown up on the internet all the time just don't care anymore about privacy. They don't care about what's real or not. It's more about like what's clickable, what's, you know, everything's going towards that direction. And what's gonna happen when all these things start to be implemented? They probably already are. We just don't know about it. But like, what's gonna happen when you can just copy paste everybody's face wherever you want? There's gonna be porn, sex tapes of everybody everywhere. It's not gonna even matter if it's true or not. So why should you care if you get caught or not? You know, it's gonna be mudded really quickly. So this is a cool little video that I'm gonna just say it in a few words. That explains how actually all those learning algorithms work. It's basically that programmers build an algorithm. They build build an algorithm that builds other algorithms, and then they build an evaluator, and the evaluator evaluates who does the best of the task that they want it to do, and they just go back. They go back to the builder, inform the builder, okay, this is what works, this is what doesn't work, build more. And then they go through all those a few of those revolutions and evolutions until they get something that works really well, but they have no idea how that actually is, because they didn't do it themselves, right? So yeah, here they make here the sample is like they make an algorithm that separates that sees the difference between a picture of a bee and a picture of number 3, and they make a really good algorithm that sorts out those pictures, and they do it just by going back and forth between the builder and the evaluator, and they try to build something that does that with God knows what. And that's why now you have those situations where like YouTube algorithms are doing stuff all across the website, and they actually don't know why that's the case, like why something gets banned, why something doesn't. It usually works, but it kind of paints with a brush stroke and stuff like that, and you can't actually fine-tune it the way you'd probably want to. That's all really strange. And when you kind of think about it, but what those algorithms are gonna do in a couple of years, they're gonna drive your cars, they're gonna maintain probably some kind of house AI as well. Yeah, and of course what they're already doing. So all of those algorithms are determining what you see on your social networks, who are you connected to, and what do you see from those connected people, what kind of ads you see as well. All of that is seeping into our lives more and more, through our cell phones, through our internet presence, and yeah, all of that. Because look at this, imagine if that you're being recorded all the time, and your mic on your cell phone is always on, or your webcam is always on, whether you want it or not. Somebody that wants to have all that information simply cannot employ 5 million people in a hangar to look over and hear all that stuff. It needs to build an algorithm to see what's important and what's not. I do not like how privacy has become less guarded as technology advances, and not only less guarded, but through this really smart way of integrated it slowly, people don't care anymore. If you look at 20-year-olds now, or 15-year-olds, they've been growing up around the internet so much that they don't actually care anymore. Everybody thought like, oh, people are being crazy on the forums and disrespecting each other because the anonymity of the internet is what it's doing. And actually look how people are shitty with each other on Facebook, where you have your full name, your your address and everything. So I don't think that's the case. Okay, the trolling and like death threats and stuff like that, that's probably still only reserved for the anonymity of it all, but yeah, privacy is becoming less and less important, and I think there's no other way for people to embrace all this technology and not to risk their privacy. Well, okay, that about covers it from my from the portion of the show with the theme, with the main theme. Thanks everybody who joined. It was really a lot of fun trying the show and everything. Thanks everybody who joined. Yeah, follow all the things, and also if you have any future recommendations of like stuff you would like to see on the show, or stuff that would interest you and stuff like that, you are more than welcome to send me an email on the choitv.channel at gmail.com, and or on any of those links here. So you can do that, of course. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.